Hey, welcome to the show. Thanks for being with us today. You know, a goal of the church, of course, is to reach the lost. And to attract audience, they may adapt something that's called a seeker-friendly model.
That's right. But how far should churches go to bring in new members? Well, a viewer on YouTube asked, is there a problem with churches becoming too seeker-friendly? Where is the line between welcoming and abandoning theology and beliefs? And so
some might not know this term seeker-friendly.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. Until this question came in, I was like, well, what is a seeker-friendly church? I didn't know if, I was kind of confused on the term. So, but you had heard of it.
Yeah, I think generally it's a seeker-friendly church has a reputation among some, maybe some who throw a little too many stones, that the cross of Christ is not preached enough. Our sin problem is not preached enough, and the fact that we need redemption from our sin, and we find it in Christ through the cross and the resurrection. And they're labeled more as a feel-good church, a place you go to be built up and confident, and you can take on life and accomplish this. Not so much addressing our sin nature in the flesh.
Yeah, I see.
And they want to keep bringing you back in without offending you.
Yeah. My approach is this. I do think that there's a line, right? And I think maybe seeker-friendly churches, they don't want to be, because I think the church has had a bad history of being super religious, right? If you walk in not wearing a suit and tie, then you're a sinner and we're not going to accept you. Or you don't look like us, so we're just not going to let you into the church. So I think
the whole suit and tie thing, though, seems to be really in the rearview mirror at this point. Between COVID and just things getting more casual, it's almost rare to see somebody in a suit and tie.
To me, I don't see a problem with that at all. You come as you are to church. I'm not saying that you should. Anyways, that's a whole other discussion. But I think that's a good thing, right? Let's not get too religious. Let's not be like the Pharisees who are whitewashed tombs, who are wanting to throw stones at people to come in church, whether they don't look like us or they're having issues. Come to Jesus as you are, and then you have that encounter with the Lord, and then things begin to transform. So let's not judge people where they are. So I think maybe, kind of like playing angel's advocate for a seeker-friendly church. Maybe that's what they're hoping for. But I do think there's also a line that you can cross where it's like, okay, you're not talking enough about sin nature. You're forgetting to talk about that. You're hyper grace, but not enough truth of sin and hell and all of that stuff.
There's a church here in town that is called a seeker-friendly church, even by some of its members, and it's viewed as a place where if you've got someone who's not a Christian and is really apprehensive about the whole thing, it's a great place to bring them because it will be a Bible-based message. Yet they're not going to feel this shame about its constant sin. And it's changed a lot of people's lives. And what I observed began to happen just from talking to people is eventually the more people grew in their Christian faith and wanted some more, then they were kind of looking elsewhere.
I see.
More than anything, I think we all know this, the church needs to be identified by its love. We're going to show a story later today, a great testimony. Someone's life was changed in a number of ways. One of the ways was because the church embraced them. So all churches, whether you're a seeker-friendly church or you spend much more time on our sin issues and the grace and redemption of Christ, be a welcoming place where all feel love.
Absolutely.
I mean, of course, they'll know that we're Christians by our love, right?
Absolutely. And the way we can show love is by keeping our focus on Jesus, right? If we keep our focus on other things, if we keep church focused on more so the members than Christ, that's where I think it's not good. So I think as church members, as church leaders, as a church body, the focus has to be on Christ and Christ alone and the cross. And then out of that will flow love, and people will be attracted to that. People are attracted to Jesus, so it's Jesus inside of us that attracts people.
Yeah, and certainly at the end of that question talked about, is it a problem if the theology starts to get swayed? Of course. Of course. If anything is preached other than the cross of Christ and the redemption of sin through his blood, that becomes a problem. And at the same time, some of the churches who maybe aren't as welcoming and loving could learn something about how to be warm receptors to people who aren't churched coming in.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, if you'd like to ask us a question or give us a topic to talk about, go to our social media pages. It's the best way to get us the information. You can look for posts on different platforms on Facebook and Instagram at 700 Club Interactive, and you can visit our YouTube page as well for interviews and stories.
Hey everyone, I'm Ashley Key. Thank you so much for watching this video. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so we can reach more people with encouraging content like you just watched, and so you never miss a beat. See you next time, and God bless.